Things you didn't know about The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Did you know that Zero, he's a ghost dog, his nose is actually a tiny little jack-o'-lantern?
Yeah. You can see that a couple of times in the movie. They show it briefly up close.
Mm-hmm. Who directed this movie?
That is my number one thing that I would love for everybody to know. Tim Burton did not direct this movie.
Wait, what?
Henry Selick directed this movie. Thank
Thanks,
you,
Link.
Link. He's angry that people are convinced that this is Tim Burton's movie, and in a sense, it is because it was born out of this idea that Tim Burton had while he was working as an animator at Walt Disney Animation. He wrote a poem that was The Nightmare Before Christmas, and he created these characters and didn't quite know what to do with them, and Disney wasn't interested in it at the time. Eventually, Disney became re-interested in the project, and doing so offered him the directing chair, but he couldn't because he was working on Batman Returns and maybe Ed Wood. And there's a Henry Selick quote that sums it up nicely.
I don't want to take away from Tim, but he was not in San Francisco when we made it. He came up 5 times over 2 years and spent no more than 8 or 10 days in total.
Yeah, I mean, so it's Tim Burton's baby. He came up with the characters, and the characters are iconic. But are they iconic because Tim Burton created them, or because Henry Selick and the team that made that movie brought them to life? It just seems universally known that Tim Burton directed The Nightmare Before Christmas. Totally not true.
Who plays Jack Skellington?
Well, Jack Skellington is played by Danny Elfman, who scored the film and wrote most of the music. And after his parts were recorded, Chris Sarandon was cast to do the speaking parts because Chris Sarandon's voice matched Danny Elfman's singing voice. I gotta say, they're indistinguishable.
It's insane that they were able to do that.
I've never been able to tell where one stops and the other begins. Has somebody done a comparison like, this is Danny Elfman, this is Chris Sarandon?
Danny Elfman wrote the music.
Yeah.
We know Danny Elfman also from,
Oingo Boingo.
all right, Tender Lumplings. Apparently there is an Oingo Boingo song called Tender Lumplings.
I didn't know that.
That made it's a lyric in This Is Halloween where it says, tender lumplings everywhere. Like, what the hell's that phrase? And you just kind of let it go because you're like, it's gibberish, whatever, tender lumplings. It's a reference to an Oingo Boingo song. Do you know the backstory of what was to be Oogie Boogie?
The backstory of what was to be Oogie Boogie. Oh, do you mean how they wanted it to be secretly Dr. Finkelstein?
Uh-huh. Yeah. So Dr. Finkelstein, Steen.
Is it Finkelstein?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Do they ever say it? No, they say it once.
Yeah.
But then he's like not credited as that, right?
Yeah, they
Like
just
he's
call him
credited-
like the mad scientist.
Yeah.
The mad scientist who creates Sally, Dr. Finkelstein. Originally, it was floated that it would be revealed that Oogie Boogie was Dr. Finkelstein dressed up as Oogie Boogie because he was jealous that Sally liked Jack. And Tim Burton got so mad at that twist that he allegedly kicked a hole in the wall. And they
Can
just
you
did away with
imagine
that.
tiny little Tim Burton kicking a hole in anything?
Yeah, it was a tiny hole. Can you name, at the beginning of the movie, when they do the intro where you descend into the trees and you find the tree that leads you to Halloween Town, do you know what? There are 7 trees that lead to holidays. Can you come up with them?
No, I'll try though. There's Easter, Halloween, Christmas.
There's also Thanksgiving.
Oh, sure.
There's also St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, mhm.
There's also a heart. And then you get a little brief snippet of a tree that seems to have fireworks on it, which could be U.S. Independence Day, or it could also be British bonfire night. What else you got?
What else do I got?
Yeah, what do you got?
I always thought that it was a fun little casting fact that Glenn Shattuck, the same actor who plays the Otho character from Beetlejuice, plays the mayor from Halloween Town.
That is
And
him.
the mayor is just an interesting character with his 2 faces. It's not really like a secret fact exactly, but it's a play on the two-faced politician, and it's fun. He literally has 2 faces.
Yeah. What about Lock, Shock, and Barrel? The little guys.
Oh, they're
help Oogie Boogie.
inspired by like a Twilight Zone episode or something, right?
Yeah, at some point they remove their masks, and it's a reference to an episode of The Twilight Zone called The Masks.
Is that all of our things you didn't know?
I think it might be.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. I wish there were more things that I didn't know. If you enjoyed like any of this and you think you want to do it again, thumb, sub, bell, Lori Drew, farewell.